All my life, baby, the only thing I ever want to do is run away. What kind of mama is that?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times rom-coms tackled serious issues.
What exactly is wrong?
I don't know if there is anything wrong because I don't know how other people are.
For this list, we'll be looking at every time we were surprised by a pretty heavy issue in our otherwise favourite form of light entertainment. We left out any teen movies like Juno because there could be a whole nother list of issues to tackle from those films. Let's face it, teens have to handle a lot. It should be noted that we will be touching upon a few spoilers. If we missed any of your faves, let us know in the comments below. Number 10. OCD. As Good as It Gets. Most romantic comedies don't delve too deep into mental illness, let alone behavioural disorders such as obsessive-compulsive disorder. But in 1997's As Good as It Gets, Jack Nicholson plays Melvin Udall, a best-selling romance novelist who deals with his OCD every day.
Help! If you want to see me, you will not do this. You will make an appointment.
Dr. Green, how can you diagnose someone as an obsessive-compulsive disorder and then act as though I had some choice about barging in?
Melvin isn't the nicest of guys, often bigoted and rude in all of his interactions. But through his relationship with a waitress named Carol and his neighbour Simon, he begins to see the world in a different light and open up his heart to different types of people.
I'm dying here.
Because you love her.
No. And you people are supposed to be sensitive and sharp?
At the end of the film, Melvin's learned that while his condition might be tough to deal with, it's easier with people you love by your side.
I don't quite get how that's a compliment for me.
You make me want to be a better man.
Number 9. Classism. Crazy Rich Asians.
There is a Hokkien phrase, kakilang. It means our own kind of people. And you're not our own kind.
Crazy Rich Asians is a super fun rom-com filled with colourful scenery, gorgeous gowns, and genuinely great chemistry between leads Constance Wu and Henry Golding. But the film also deals with classism and the prejudice people can face if they come from a different economic class than their partner. When Nick invites Rachel to celebrate his best friend's wedding with him in Singapore, she learns that his family is one of the richest in the country.
And they built all of this. Now, they're the landlords of the most expensive city in the world. Here you go. These people are so posh and snobby, they're snotchy. Ew.
Yeah, but Nick's not like that.
Even if he isn't, I guarantee you the family is.
Nick's family, in particular his mother, treats her with disdain for her working class roots throughout the film. While Nick and Rachel end up coming out stronger on the other side, it's definitely rough going for a moment.
I know this much. You will never be enough.
Number 8. Death of a Spouse. Sleepless in Seattle. Everyone loves Sleepless in Seattle for its amazing ending scene when Sam and Annie finally meet each other on top of the Empire State Building.
Are you Annie?
Yes.
You're Annie?
The story that takes us to that exhilarating moment actually deals with some pretty heavy stuff though. Namely, Sam coping with the death of his wife and being a single parent.
But how long ago did your wife die?
About a year and a half ago.
Oh. Have you had any relationships since?
No.
No. Why not?
Urged on by his son Jonah's concern, Sam tries to speak about his loss on a national radio show. Despite the Christmas season making the pain even more difficult than usual, Tom Hanks plays the moment perfectly, capturing real heartbreak and loss in that moment.
Yeah, it's just tough this time of year. I mean, any kid needs a mother.
Could it be that you need someone just as much as Jonah does?
Yes.
Number 7. Assault. Pretty Woman. After watching this scene in Pretty Woman, we could never look at George Costanza the same.
I mean, maybe if I do you, then I wouldn't care about losing millions of dollars, because I have to be very honest with you right now, Vivian. Right now, I really do care. I really do. And right now, I am really pissed, you know?
This classic romantic comedy stars Julia Roberts as a sex worker named Vivian, who falls in love with the wealthy Edward after he hires her to pretend to be his girlfriend for a few weeks. Edward ends up falling in love with Vivian too, and as a result changes his mind about a very important business decision.
If Edward were with me, when Edward was with me, he didn't blow off billion-dollar deals. I think that Edward's with you. That's what I think.
Angered by the decision, Edward's attorney Philip, played by Jason Alexander of Seinfeld fame, attempts to assault Vivian. It's an extremely difficult scene to get through in an otherwise fairly light romantic comedy.
What do they do? Do they pull you aside in high school and show you how to do this? Is that...
Number 6. Coming out late in life. Beginners. Beginners is a romantic comedy that forays into sad moments more than most.
Why are you telling them you're turning the corner?
Well...
You have stage 4 cancer.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
Pop, there is no stage 5.
Constructed as a series of flashbacks, the film revolves around Oliver, who is reflecting on his relationship with his father Hal just after Hal has died of cancer. A few years before Hal died, he came out as gay to his son, causing their relationship to strengthen and become more honest.
I just thought you and Mom weren't in love.
Oh, we loved each other.
But you were gay the whole time.
I learned how not to be.
For 44 years.
The film deals a lot with the trials and tribulations of coming out later in life. Christopher Plummer is excellent in the role of Hal, capturing the joy and tragedy of the character in perfect measure.
Now I want to explore this side. I don't want to be just theoretically gay. I want to do something about it. I want to do something about it. I want to do something about it.
Number 5. Unplanned pregnancy. Knocked Up.
I'm pregnant?
With emotion?
With a baby. You're the father.
Far be it from us to expect Judd Apatow to tackle this serious subject in one of his movies, but in 2007, he sort of did. Knocked Up is about Allison and Ben, two strangers who have a one-night stand and never intend to see each other again. Unfortunately for them, Allison finds out she's pregnant 8 weeks later, and Ben agrees to support her throughout the process.
I'll tell you, maybe if you could help me by telling me, one thing that I am supposed to do, then that would be good, because I literally have no idea whatsoever.
I have no idea either.
Sure, the film is filled with crass jokes and gags, but it actually handles the tough situation that Allison and Ben face with more care than one might expect from a Seth Rogen vehicle.
He really seems on his game. I think he's going to be a good dad. I think I like him. Thank God.
Number 4. Mental Illness. Silver Linings Playbook. Some romantic comedies manage to squeeze serious situations into their narratives, but this movie tackles heavy stuff from the jump.
I had one incident.
One incident can change a lifetime.
But I'm ready. I'm ready to take responsibility for my side of the street.
At the beginning of Silver Linings Playbook, Pat is leaving a psychiatric hospital where he spent the last 8 months undergoing treatment for bipolar disorder. While trying to win back his ex-wife, he meets Tiffany, a widow who is also struggling with mental illness.
You are afraid to be alive. You are afraid to live. You're a hypocrite. You're a conformist. You're a liar. I opened up to you and you judged me.
He ends up agreeing to be her partner for a dance competition if she helps him win back his ex. Sparks fly between the two, and the film does a great job of meshing the regular rom-com beats with more serious scenes.
I was trying to be romantic.
You love me?
Yeah, I do.
Number 3. Social Anxiety. Punch-Drunk Love. Loneliness can be just as heavy to deal with as any other emotion, and no rom-com explores that better than 2002's Punch-Drunk Love. This irreverent romantic comedy follows Barry, an extremely lonely, isolated man who suffers from social anxiety.
I don't like myself sometimes. Can you help me?
Barry, I'm a dentist.
He has 7 sisters who don't exactly help with the situation, and he sometimes resorts to calling phone sex lines to cope with his loneliness.
Okay, and what kind of a girl would you like to talk to?
I don't want anybody to know it's me, though. I don't want them to know my name, okay?
Nobody will know your name.
Okay, if you could tell them my name is Jack.
You want her to call you Jack?
Sure, I just don't want her to know it's me.
But when he meets Lena, things start to look up. The film does a wonderful job of keeping the tone of the film light while still giving Barry's feelings the appropriate weight they deserve.
And I have a lot of pudding. And in 6 to 8 weeks, it can be redeemed. So if you could just give me that much time, I think I can get enough mileage to go with you wherever you have to go.
Number 2. Severe illness, chronic illness, the big sick. Semi-autobiographical story of Kumail Nanjiani and Emily V. Gordon starts out as sad, but ends up turning into a love story for the ages.
But I just wanted to tell you, I am overwhelmed by you. It's the last thing I was expecting.
This was also the last thing I was expecting. And I also feel completely overwhelmed by you.
The Big Sick more than does their story justice. In the film, Kumail meets Emily and the two start dating, but Kumail keeps the relationship from his parents, afraid they won't accept a white partner for their Pakistani-American son.
I'm fighting a 1400-year-old culture. You were ugly in high school. There's a big difference. I'm sorry. I can't lose my family.
When Emily finds out, she breaks up with Kumail, but then is suddenly hospitalized with a serious lung infection that quickly turns into something more, causing her to have to go into an induced coma. The film deals with issues like racism and prejudice, and also with how Emily must deal with what becomes a serious autoimmune disorder.
A lot of drugs in you, so you're like not thinking as clearly.
No, dog. I'm not joking. You're not funny to me. You just make me sad. You make me sad inside of my heart, and it makes me sad to look at you.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Sex addiction, sleeping with other people. Sex addiction taken seriously.
I didn't think I'd remember you. I thought I'd forget about all of it, and I didn't.
Death of a parent. Trainwreck. Didn't expect to cry during this movie, but here we are.
I know he probably hurt everyone here. But raise your hand if he was one of your favorite people.
Grief. The worst person in the world. Losing a friend is the hardest thing.
Jag var för det där rädd. Snart, jag har egentligen inte någon kul snöre. Jag bara behöver putta det med.
Media ethics. Broadcast news. Can't forgive a fake cry.
You could get fired for things like that.
I got promoted for things like that.
Working up tears for a news piece cutaway? You totally crossed the line between what is ethical and what is garbage.
They keep moving a little sucker, don't they?
Terminating pregnancy. Obvious child. A tough decision to make.
I think it's gonna be okay. And afterwards, I'll just, I'll be in my future. And, you know, we'll go from there, right? I guess so.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Domestic violence. Waitress. Waitress is one of the most underrated romantic comedies of the 2000s. It follows Jenna, a pregnant waitress who ends up falling in love with her Obgyn.
Don't walk away from me.
Well, what do you want?
I want to see you again.
That's already a pretty tough situation to navigate. However, the hardest part of the film to pass is Jenna's marriage to her husband, who mistreats her regularly.
You're the only thing I ever loved, Jenna. You're the only person that ever belonged to me. And you having a secret from me, it tears me up.
The film handles domestic issues more deftly than most movies, giving proper weight to how hard it can be for a person to leave that sort of situation, while still allowing Jenna to make it out in the end. The film also breaks the rom-com mold, not ending in a relationship, but rather with the love that Jenna has for her daughter.
Baby, don't you cry, gonna make a pie, hold you forever in the middle of my heart.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.